Hello all, and thanks for tuning in for this paranormal pit stop. Tonight we'll be exploring a historic entertainment venue, event space, and landmark located off of Jefferson Boulevard within the Oak Hill neighborhood of Dallas, Texas, that earned tragic renown when it acted as site to the arrest of accused JFK assassin Lee Harvey Oswald. Rumored to harbor a host of restless spirits tied to its past, are you prepared to brave the history and hauntings of the infamous Texas Theater? Historically, in 1931, the Texas Theater would open its doors under longtime Oak Cliff local and entrepreneur C.R. McHenry, who was more affectionately recognized as Uncle Mac. Uncle Mac's Theater would grow in popularity as quite literally the first of such venues in Dallas, with air conditioning and other more modernized luxuries of the era. Tragically, on November 22nd of 1963, the Texas Theater would act as site to the arrest of Lee Harvey Oswald, shortly following the assassination of the standing president John F. Kennedy, and the subsequent shooting and killing of Dallas patrolman J.D. Tippit, who had pulled up alongside Oswald and exchanged words with him, likely spooking the suspect into attacking. Those present for this incident would report Oswald ducking into the theater to hide, where he was later arrested. And 2 days later, Oswald himself was murdered by Jack Ruby, who shot the suspect during his transfer to the city jail. In 1989, the theater would close its doors for a time. In 1990, the site was purchased under the Texas Theater Historical Society. In 1991, the structure's facade was remodeled for Oliver Stone's film JFK, and sadly, by 1992, the society would be unable to maintain funding of the prestigious property, resulting in its closure once again, and in it facing demolition. Fortunately, in 1993, Don Dubois and Texas Rosewind Midway Properties would come to the venue's rescue, setting to work on a slew of restorations. However, 2 years following, a 5-alarm fire would nearly result in its total destruction, forcing yet another closure. In 2001, the Oak Cliff Foundation would acquire the structure and would set to work on repairs and renovations, which were funded under the Dallas Neighborhood Renaissance Partnership and bouts of ongoing fundraising. And from the date of the completion of said restorations, the theater would begin hosting movies and special events once more. Most recently, in September of 2019, Aviation Cinemas Incorporated would purchase the property and would set to work on further restorations and modernizations. The Texas Theater remains open into the present, offering a range of viewing options, live performances, a slew of annual events, and much more. While no one has passed on theater grounds since its reopening, little documentation covers periods prior to this, and there's no telling what transpired on site over its lengthy existence. Most popular local legends claim that the grounds are haunted, quite simply, by the spirits of those whose lives revolved around the theater, and whose souls refused to move on following their bodies' deaths. And both staff and visitors to its bounds have reported instances of lights flicking on and off by themselves, frequent equipment malfunctions, and the feelings of being watched, followed, touched, or even grabbed by presences unseen, one of which has a habit of breathing into the ears of those who wander alone. Several informal investigations of the Texas Theater have yielded high EMF levels, jumbled EVPs, and inexplicable battery death rates in equipment, while others have told of extreme cold spots, disembodied voices and footsteps that emanate from empty spaces, and of encounters with both shadowy figures and full-bodied apparitions, one of the most commonly encountered of which seems to be the black, misty form of a woman in an old-fashioned dress that's seemingly unaware of the living that surround her, and who most often manifests near close when she's been observed and documented by multiple staff members. Lastly, doors on site have a habit of slamming shut at random. Several seats are known for raising and lowering on their own, a phantom whistling has been detected on the wind, and objects or effects have been spied moving about on their own, or even floating through midair inexplicably. Thanks for joining us on this paranormal pit stop. If you enjoyed our histories and ghost stories, subscribe to our channel, like this upload, and share us with everyone you know so that our upcoming series, Sleepovers, gets the welcome it deserves. Until next time.